there. This is Life After Trauma with Dr. Jan, helping you to take a stand and put an end to all the drama. Just think of me as your second mama. Hi. Life After Trauma with Dr. Jan is my life story. Today is episode 26, and we're going to discuss victims of domestic abuse and why they wear masks. Have you ever wondered why so many victims of domestic abuse seem to hide their pain behind a mask? Well, in this video episode 26, we're going to give you 7 reasons why victims of domestic abuse wear those masks. We're going to uncover the emotional, psychological, and social pressures that keep survivors silent. From fear and shame to survival instincts and misplaced self-blame. This episode, number 26, is going to reveal the battles behind the faces and what goes on behind closed doors. Understanding these reasons will help us respond with compassion and not judgment for a woman who is enduring domestic abuse. And it will help create a safe space for victims to finally come out and speak, heal, and reclaim their lives. We know that domestic abuse is a silent and dark culture. People talk about everything except domestic abuse. And yet, domestic abuse is pervasive. It is everywhere. But because we don't speak openly and candidly about this terrible culture, we really don't understand what the victim goes through. And so today, we are going to see 7 reasons why domestic abuse victims wear these masks. Now, I was a domestic abuse victim for almost 42 years. And so everything that you're going to hear, all of the reasons I have gone through all of this. And so I want you to be aware, because many of you don't understand victims of domestic abuse. You say, why don't they just leave? It's not that simple. So today we want to delve in and get some understanding. But before we do, I want you to do 3 things for me. I want you to subscribe to this channel. I want you to like this video, and I want you to comment. Tell us what you are thinking, and because we want to hear from you. I want you also to hit the notification bell so that you never miss a video. We make a video every week, and we want you to be aware of that. Would you do that for me? Thank you. Now, let's dive in to episode 26, 7 reasons why domestic abuse victims wear masks. Well, reason number 1, victims wear masks because masks are a survival strategy. It's a technique. This mask protects her. Many women in abusive relationships have learned to wear masks to cover up, to hide what is really happening to them. Now, how does she cover her pain? Because she is in pain. She hides this abuse to keep the peace. She smiles so that others won't ask her questions. She wants you to think that she's perfectly all right, but she's not. She downplays the mistreatment so that she doesn't rock the boat. And she pretends that everything is all right, even though it's not. It's a mask. These masks protect her temporarily, but these masks also separate her from her true identity. So let me help you understand that when a woman lives in domestic abuse, she has to continually mask her pain. So some of you might ask, well, why doesn't she just confront her abuser and face reality and change her situation for herself? There are many reasons why she doesn't do that. To the abuse, what you are asking her to do is so difficult. It's not easy. As a matter of fact, it may be terrifying. It may be life threatening. And therefore, she hides her problem behind these masks. The mask that she wears is her, shall I say, emotional self-protection. This is not weakness. No, don't get me wrong. Don't get this twisted. This is her way of surviving. So number one, she wears a mask because she has had to become, that mask has become a survival strategy for her. Reason number two, she wears a mask because chronic fear has rewired her reality. Yes, it has. Can you imagine being mentally and emotionally afraid most of the time? And she is living in a daily climate of anger, intimidation, threats, or control, causing her to be hyper vigilant. She is constantly scanning for danger, looking to see if he's upset or angry, because that will have a direct effect on what happens to her and perhaps her children. And because she lives like this daily, she has a nervous system that is deregulated. She never feels completely relaxed. She is always tense. And because she is never fully relaxed, she is mentally exhausted. She feels as if she's, shall we say, walking on eggshells 24/7. Fear has become her advisor. Fear has become her interpreter. And finally, fear tells her what to think and how to act. And it tells her, this fear tells her who she is. And that's not a very positive picture. So reason number two, she wears masks because chronic fear has rewired her. Reason number three, why she wears a mask, it's because her voice has been silenced. Why has it been silenced? Because first of all, she's embarrassed. No woman wants you to know that she's living in this kind of situation. She doesn't want to be judged. So she's embarrassed, she's ashamed, she's humiliated, and that has become heavy and toxic for her. She doesn't want people to know that she made a mistake, that perhaps she chose the wrong spouse. She doesn't want her church friends to pity her. She feels that people will judge her faith. They may even judge her intelligence. She she feels like a fool. She feels like she didn't have good judgment, and perhaps she didn't at that particular time. But shame whispers, something must be wrong with you. She looks around and she sees all of the other women with their spouses, and they seem happy and everything is going well. And so she begins to wonder, what's wrong with me? And so, reason number three, she wears a mask, is because shame has silenced her voice. Reason number four, why she wears a mask, is because she has begun to internalize the abuse. Yes. Over time, as a victim has adapted to the abuser's narrative, and remember that abuser is putting her down constantly, telling her she's no good. She's just less than nothing. And it puts doubt in herself about herself. And then she begins to think that perhaps I talk too much. Maybe if I cooked better, maybe if I looked prettier, things would go differently for me. Maybe, just maybe I am the problem. It's not my abuser. Maybe I just provoke him. If I could just be a better woman, more of a woman, maybe I wouldn't be in this situation. Maybe the abuse is my fault. But all that she's thinking is not true. This is what we call trauma-induced self-blame. She's blaming herself for something that she is not over. This is not her problem. It's the problem of the abuser. But the abuser has downbeaten her so much that she's intaking this problem. And so we call this trauma-induced self-blame. But it's not true. It's not her fault. But a woman can become so accustomed to being demeaned and down and put down that she no longer recognizes her true identity in Jesus Christ. And she begins to believe that she doesn't even have much worth, and that maybe she even deserves this mistreatment that she's getting. We call this again what? Trauma-induced self-blame. It's a lie, but she no longer realizes who she is. And so reason number four, she wears masks because she has begun to internalize this abuse. So sad. Reason number five, why victims of domestic abuse wear masks is because we call it emotional fragmentation. Emotional fragmentation has set in. Now, what is that? It means that she is hiding, she is pretending, and she is performing. She has become detached from her own feelings, and she's smiling on the outside, making you think that everything is fine. She does that publicly, but she's dying on the inside privately. Her heart has become numb and her spirit has become weary. Depression is beginning to creep in if it hasn't already. Her anxiety is growing and she's having some sleep disorder. And now she's sleep deprived, and that is taking a toll. It's taking a toll on her looks. It's taking a toll on her health. And now her soul has become divided. The public persona versus the private pain. This victim is in a bad way. She's such an actress that if you're not really keen to detecting what's going on within her, you will miss it. You will actually think that she's all right, and she's not. She's in a bad way physically, emotionally, and spiritually. So reason number five, why she wears masks is because she is emotionally fragmented and she no longer recognizes herself. Reason number 6 why she wears a mask is because of long-term health consequences that are beginning to appear. You can't live in this kind of situation and not sleep properly, probably not eating well, not resting well. And this chronic trauma has begun to impact her body. And so sooner or later, she is becoming physically and emotionally and spiritually impacted by this domestic abuse. And if she hasn't already, she will eventually become ill and she will begin experiencing headaches, high blood pressure, stomach disorders, autoimmune issues, hair loss, and chronic fatigue. She just drags around all the time because it's too much for her body to handle. She has not talked about her problems, and therefore her body is keeping score when her mouth is silent, and she is going to get sick. Reason number 6 why victims of domestic abuse wear masks because of long-term health consequences. They're beginning to appear, and she doesn't want anybody to know what's going on in her life. She's probably a very private person, and she just doesn't want anyone to know. And yet she doesn't have anyone that she feels close enough to that she can divulge this information and give herself physical, emotional, spiritual release. And so reason number 6 why she wears this mask is going to cause long-term health consequences down the road if it hasn't already begun to appear right now. And finally, reason number 7 why she wears this mask is because her relationship with God has become cloudy. If she is truly a believer, a woman of God, and she is serious about her relationship with the Lord, she may begin to feel that maybe she's going through what she's going through because God is disappointed in her. Now, this is not true, but this is probably what she's thinking. And she's thinking that maybe God is punishing her and he wants her to suffer because she has sinned in some kind of way. Now, this is not the truth. God does not treat his children like this. But now she is so ridden with domestic abuse that she's not thinking right. She's not thinking well. Maybe she thinks she has sinned and she's not a good wife. Maybe she's been told she's not a good wife. She's not a good mother. And if she could do better, she would not be suffering what she's going through. And she deserves to suffer because she's so low. These are all lies. But because she's not communicating with anyone, and because now she has a disconnect even with God, she feels that perhaps she should pray harder, she should obey more, she should submit more. But none of this is true. None of these beliefs that she's thinking are scriptural. They're not there. God has not designed his daughters to be abused, to be silenced, or to be broken. No, no, no. She is thinking wrong. God never wants his children to be abused, and abuse is a violation of God's heart and God's word. But because she doesn't know this, number 7, She wears masks because her relationship with God has become clouded. It's all so sad. So, in summary, if this woman doesn't change and she continues to wear these masks, she will eventually lose herself, lose her voice, lose her confidence, lose her peace, and sometimes she will even lose the will to live and go on in this life. These reasons are not good. But this does not have to be, my child. No, it doesn't. You, if you are that woman who is wearing masks because you are in domestic abuse, I want you to know that you can be a survivor and an overcomer of domestic abuse. Oh, yes, you can. Because no matter how long you have been in domestic abuse, no matter how deep the pain has been for you in domestic abuse, you can change. We're not talking about your abuser. We're talking about you. Everything has to start with you. You don't have to remain where you are and how you are. No, you don't. You can change your way of thinking. Yes, you can. You can change because there is nothing too hard for God. All things are possible with the Lord. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. And God has given you the power to be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You don't have to lie down and give up. No, you can get up. You can walk in victory. And I know you can because I once used to be you. Yes, I was. That's why I know exactly how you feel. I know what it's like to have low self-esteem. I know what it's like not to believe in yourself. I know because I was once you. I have been where you are. Believe me, I know. How do I know? Because I lived in domestic abuse for 42 years. Did you hear me? I lived in domestic abuse for 42 years with two abusive husbands. I lived almost 20 years with husband number one, who was physically violent. And I lived 22 years with husband number two, who was emotionally, verbally, and psychologically abusive, plus a gaslighter. Everyone thought that my life would never change and that I would always remain the same. But they were wrong. I did change. And today I am 86 years young. Yes, I am. I was born in 1939. Would you believe that I am just 4 years away from being 90 years old if the Lord lets me live? And I'm still walking in victory and not in mass. And it's because God gave me the keys to change my life and walk in power and victory. Now, my God given purpose in life is to help you walk in victory too. You see, it doesn't matter how old you are, or how young you are. It doesn't matter how long you have been in domestic abuse. It is possible to heal and recover from the trauma and the drama of domestic abuse. I know because I did. Yes, I did. And you can too. I am living proof that it is possible to change and move from victim to victory. Won't you join me in this victory walk? I recovered victoriously, and so can you. You have a life and you have a story. And it is time for you to take off those masks, hold your head up high, put your shoulders back, and walk in victory. It's never too late to begin again. And it is because of Jesus Christ, the author and finisher of our faith. So, this is Life After Trauma with Dr. Jan, helping you to take a stand and put an end to all the drama. Just think of me as your second mama. And if this episode has resonated with you today, I want you to like and subscribe to my channel, Life After Trauma with Dr. Jan, and I want you to leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. I want you to like this episode 26, and I want you to share it with someone who needs to know that healing is possible. Please visit my website. My website is www.jnbministries.org. I have written a book, and it's on my website, www.jnbministries. My book is entitled Testimony of a Kept Woman, From Misery to Ministry Instead of the State Penitentiary. Yes, God gave me that title in the shower. You could have never thought it up. But it is an ebook, and it is my memoir, and it tells my story. It tells all the things that I went through. It's amazing, and only God could have helped me to go through what I went through and then come out on the other side better than new. And so get this book. I share my full journey. It's raw, it's real, and it's redemptive. This book is. You can get your copy of my book. Just visit my website, www.jnbministries.org. I also want you to know that I have two channels. This is one, Life After Trauma with Dr. Jan, but I also have another channel called SALT, Bible Study with Dr. Jan. And SALT is an acronym that stands for S, Strengthening, A, Adults, 2, L, Live, T, Triumphantly. Strengthening adults to live triumphantly. And you can get a Bible study on the series that I'm doing right now. We're going through the entire Bible, all 66 books on my other channel. So don't forget to like my two channels and subscribe and share. Continue to follow me. I have lots to share about my life, and I upload a video every week. Join me the next time as I share more of my story. And until the next time, have hope, because there is life after trauma with Dr. Jan.